Record. Get the music going. Oh, that sounds a bit loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nexomon rating video. And yes, as you can tell from the title, I did decide I'm going to do this all in one big package like I did with the Famicom trilogy of the FFs. Because I don't want to spend too much time on Nexomon 1. I don't want to give Nexomon 1 any kind of special treatment. I would like to give it to Nexomon Extinction, but that by extinction would would claim that Nexomon 1 deserves praise, which it does not. Alright, so yes, the funding was for both Nexomon and Nexomon Extinction. It was funded by NexoSparkle, aka Neko, and it took us 5 sessions to get through the first, and I didn't jot down how many sessions for 6 for Extinction. It took us 6 sessions to get through Extinction, and I am just going to correct that right now as we get back into this. So, as for Nexomon 1, took me 5 sessions to get through. It was funded by Neko. We did not use cheats. It's negative 28 to story and negative 9. Yeah, negative 9 to gameplay. Yeah, I didn't think very highly of Nexomon 1, as you can tell. Let's start with what few positives I found for their Nexomon 1 story. I gave a brickwork positive because I actually thought there was some decent brickwork. Just like in Pokemon, doodads. There was some good, and now that's mostly in the towns, obviously, but even Pokemon, I'm going to give props to Pokemon games for the doodads in their towns, I'm not really looking for it in the dungeons, If I notice it in the dungeons, then that's extra praise, By the way, while I don't care for the music, as this is Nexomon Extinction music you're hearing right now, I do think the music direction was decent enough. I do like the still frames during the game's bigger moments. That was cool. The backstory scene was well done, and which sets up the world nicely, despite the really weird flash forward. I admit I want to cry foul on Ulzar's exposition, but even I have to admit it's an interesting concept and a well done scene. It's just they never follow through on it, and they use it as an excuse in both here and Extinction. While I don't think the game really earned it, running into Glacia and the champions at the entrance to Nexolord Tower is actually a good scene to show the depth and level of threat that they are. So that's kind of cool. I also like the reveal that, spoilers, Dina was Nara, the disowned child of Omicron. Pretty cool. 8 positives, that was it. Now let's get into the 36 negatives, shall we? Speaking of the flash forward, I hate it. Too short, and it isn't really hint at anything too well. I also do not like the audio on the narrator. It sounds like he's too close to his mic, and it just sounds bad. And this is coming from somebody who knows about not great mic quality. I gave a triple negative for empty text, because there's empty text all over the fucking place in this game. I hate the writing. Now, this one I did go on a bit of a diatribe about, because, because shit just seems to just happen with no real rhyme or reason, and the player characters' reactions are only really realistic to a point, right? Yeah, with said point being, kids are cocky little bastards most of the time, and the story has had opportunities for a reluctance to act as an arc, but instead it's just there to waste my goddamn time, and I absolutely fucking hate it. I also gave a negative for story sequencing and a triple negative for the pacing. Oh, and a triple negative for padding, because this feels like a padded to hell story for Nexomon 1. I also fucking hate the tone. And I feel it fails hard. It wants to inject a bit of realism to the events with the player character hesitating because of crazy things happening. But because it wants to be comedic at the exact same time with those events, the tone just clashes all over the place. This game fails at Devil May Cry effect. Now again, you have to be really fucking bad where it feels like the silly is pulling me out of the serious, or vice versa. And I don't think I gave a negative for that. Suppose we'll see, but I don't remember giving a negative for that. I did give a negative because I don't find this game funny. The Nexomon 1 funny at all. I gave the dialogue a triple negative because, God, there was no fucking proofreading on any of this. The battle lost the cutscene shows up, and I start getting really fucking pissy because it blossoms into a triple negative of pain for me. The gameplay story segregation really pisses me off with constant fourth wall breakings, so that's a triple negative there. I also give a negative for this plot being way too goddamn predictable. I gave a negative for the bad world building because there's no fucking good world building here. It's all just like, how does that work, I gave the Nexolord himself a negative because I don't think he works as a villain. I gave Atlas a triple negative because, oh my god, I just wanted him to shut the fuck up. Ugh, God. And he would rather the world get destroyed than dance. Look, I know it's a joke, but there are some jokes that are just not funny, and that's not funny. Power Rangers knockoffs, those that call themselves the Justice Knights, they were just fucking irritating, and I wanted them off screen every time they showed up. I also hate the fucking bounty hunter who doesn't even get a name but shows up like several goddamn times. Fuck him. I gave a negative for the intro, which I chopped after defeating Ivan. It's not good. I was going to say wash originally, but thinking on it, the story feels like it hasn't even started, and already the dialogue and character writing are just... They were starting to get to me even at that point, because as I stated at the point in which I chopped the intro, which is what led to this negative, by the way, it felt like a badly written Saturday morning cartoon. I've sadly seen some of those. Then there's the cavalry moment in Nexolord Tower, right before you fight Ventra, which is just you need to have Ventra pulling Mary Sue shit after we've already defeated 2 of her siblings. Yeah, no, that made no fucking sense. I also fucking hate the final narration as it ruins the ending. It makes it suck. And the outro as a whole was just an overall negative. Then there's the gameplay, which scored a net -9. And there is some good here, but let's get into that good though. I actually don't mind the core combat of Nexomon 1. The bestiary was interesting and a double positive in both games. There's some good info in the game. I love the full heal and level up. You know me, I love full heal and level up. I eat that shit up. The ability to save anywhere is always good. Most status effects don't seem to stick with you outside of battle, so that's good. I actually thought the power progression and difficulty curves were decent enough. Doesn't really feel like it spikes too often, which is good. It just kind of feels like it's slow. It's a nice smooth curve, which is nice. There's some decent enemy variety. There's some good itemization, some good autosaves, and Remus is a good boss and a good test of your skills. I like a Krua as a boss fight, though the status effects are annoying. And Grunda was is actually one of the few difficulty spikes, but I feel he is an appropriate difficulty spike. I also like the battle against Ulzar being a mirror match for me, so yeah, I gave that a triple positive. I also kind of like the final boss gauntlet. It may be a rematch with the champions, but in my opinion, it's fun despite the padding. And then I gave the outro a positive on the gameplay, and then I gave a positive for the post-game. 21 gameplay positives, which means 30 negatives. Negatives are incoming because that -9. You know, I might actually go ahead and wait. How long have I been going? Okay, no, that's just my fatigue talking. Never mind. And I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, let's just get on with it. So I also don't like the audio balancing, because especially early on. Oh God, ugh, you know, no real way to fix that either, Rob, before you start playing. Excuse me. The one save slot problem affects Nexomon 1, which is just, wow, really. Phone game level options just do not cut it, and that is a triple negative. Seriously, the options really suck. The options are okay in Extinction, but they're not great. I gave these... I hate evolution meaning nothing but aesthetics. That's just dumb. The status effect fetish was a triple negative. The menus are honestly pretty clunky, if you ask me. To the tune of 2 negatives. 1, the battle lost the cutscene on the gameplay axis. I only gave it 1 on the gameplay axis because it was really more in the story department that it was pissing me off. Excuse me, I'm still fighting off a cold, which I got like right after I finished streaming Nexomon Extinction. Ugh, you know. The gameplay story segregation was a triple negative on the gameplay because, again, I tend to give it on both axes, mostly because it just rips me out, and the gameplay centered fourth wall breaking was just irritating to me. I gave a negative for grind. I gave a negative for the combat interface. I feel there is padding in this game. I feel the gameplay is badly paced. I am also not a fan of your opponent getting a free turn when you switch Nexomon. So basically, whenever you either have to because one of your Nexomon fainted, or you swap to a different party member, yeah, the enemy basically gets a free turn, and that's bullcrap. Also, the encounter rate, when you're going through like the dungeons where you can just walk around and get into fights, is just ridiculous. Ridiculous and too damn high. The lack of a mini-map is just freaking irritating. I basically gave a negative for the item names being misleading. I also hate the volleyball minigame. As the sun abruptly ends. So, yeah. I really didn't like Nexomon 1. It was not very good. Good lord, do I hate it. Let's move on to Nexomon Extinction now. So, 6 session counts for this one. And Neko funded this one again, like I said. And +2 to story and +48 to gameplay. Yeah, I actually like this one this time, so let's get into it. First of all, in the story. Good brickwork due to its visual storytelling, visual continuity, music direction. I also gave a plus for the sprite work because I actually think the use of the sprite work here in Extinction works really well. There's some nice external continuity. I think there's some foreshadowing going on. Some good Babylon 5 effect. I gave 3 positives to the humor. Despite some of the later bullshit. I do love the side quests offering amusing story beats. I actually found the fourth wall breaking to be funny this time. I actually found there to be gameplay story integration this time, to the tune of 2 positives. I like Dina as a character. I like the Children of Omicron kind of being bestowing us power. However, that's pretty cool. I actually kind of like the Masked Thieves. They were kind of entertaining, and even really smart. It's like, now you will tell us all your plans. Why? Because we beat you in a Nexomon fight? We never agreed to that. Bye! Love that. I liked the intro this time. I chopped it off after the Fidel quest. So basically right after you meet Edward for the first time. Dina trusting us with the Tyrant Egg is a nice little hiding info from us. The whole Immortal Citadel area, which is the ghost area, that was just gold. I liked the abandoned lab, save for the confrontation with Amelie, but we'll get to that later. I felt it was a fantastic story beat and a nice way to gray out the guild. The confrontation between Dina and Xanders really showed off how powerful she is, so that's cool. Although, unfortunately, Xanders is a Gary Stu, so there's that. I love the whole bunker section in the frozen tundra. I also love the reveal that we are Dina's child. It is my favorite plot point in the entire game. It's really cool and really thought-provoking. Okay. That sounds familiar. Gee. Hey, I wonder what Castlevania game is making me I'm thinking of right now. Anyways. I also really like the twist that the Tyrant Egg is a fake. That was another triple positive. And then I had to give a triple positive to the airship ramming Vados. That was fucking hilarious. And an awesome payoff to a previous plot point about getting said airship, so yeah. And yeah, I'll admit it, the fake credits, well, I called them being fake, was an amusing touch. And then, despite everything, I gave the ending a positive. 36 story positives. We got 34 story negatives to go through. Let's get into them. Some bad story sequencing. Some bad pacing, dialogue issues, empty text is all over the goddamn place. And as soon as Vado shows up, I start predicting the plot left, right, and center, which sucks. I don't like the world building that much better in this one. This is another shitty plot, mostly due to, like, I would say, as soon as Amelie is revealed to be a villain, it's just, yeah, okay, fuck this bullshit, you know? I found Ross to be fucking irritating, and he got a triple negative. I only gave Coco 2 negatives, because he was only slightly irritating. The use of the Renegades is frankly dumb, and I really just don't like their usage. I also don't like how the narrative uses Amelie, so she got 2 negatives. I also find Xander's to be just too much for me. He's one note, he's arrogant as fuck, and even if he can back it up, he is a great example of Ava-Asuka syndrome, in which a character acts like an asshole, and I'm supposed to just ignore the assholishness just because it's that character's backstory. If you can't tell from my use of caps lock, I kind of fucking hate that idea. Not a fan of Lobo. He's very irritating for me. A whole confrontation with Amelie in the abandoned lab turns an otherwise great story section, and as I should add a word here. Turns an otherwise great story sequence rancid, as it feels like it ruins an otherwise great story section. Oh, there it is. As it feels like a massive circle jerk. Eric, I had it right. And also, Ross attacked me first, Nora. Fuck off. Then Amelie turning out to be the villain is just a triple negative plot point, because I fucking hate it. I also really don't find the idea of the Renegades joking about taking hostages funny. That was not fucking funny. I also really hate the Nexomon Pro Tag chiming in and being like, us defeating Omicron was a mistake. Go fuck yourself, game. And then there's the whole confrontation on top of the guild, which is excuse me, which is just wrong for me. About as wrong as this freaking cold. Cold still being around, but whatever. Like, Vados just talking about genociding all Nexomon, the out-of-nowhere nature of Ross having our back, heck, all of the shit to do with Edward, all of it is just no. Triple negative. Also, the Nexomon are evil plot point returns, and is even fucking worse here, so triple negative. It really doesn't make any sense here. And I also gave a triple negative to the outro. Total of 34 negatives. Then there was the positives. So let's get into it. Music. Duh. Core combat. Got 2 positives this time. Right. The interface also got 2 positives this time. Right. I gave a positive to info and game. I gave 2 positives to quality of life. 2 positives to gameplay story integration. I think the playlist is done. No, it's just one of those it's blank. Never mind. There we go. Let's make sure I'm on the right thing. Yes, I am. Okay, cool. I like the feed mechanic. That was actually pretty cool. I gave itemization 3 positives. I gave a positive to tutorials, a positive to menu navigation, the 2 positives for the estuary. Excuse me again. Tamer fights respawning, but this time without the eye contact initiating them, is actually kind of cool, and I like it. There are also some interesting side quests with a bit of variety. So that's nice. I like a lot of the random trades in this game. I like the cores. they felt like good kit. I feel that the flow of exploration deserves 2 positives. I gave a positive to fast travel. I gave the difficulty and power progression curves positives because I feel they're both nice and smooth. I like the aesthetics in terms of the look of the Nexomon. I was kind of just on the looks in Nexomon 1, but in Extinction, I really like the aesthetics. Nivalis was a good wake-up call boss, which also leads us to the end of the intro. I like the second round against Nivalis. Fona was an interesting fight. Mulcimer was a good fight. Come on! And throat. Ugh. Sorry, I know I should mute for those. God damn it. Ugh, I might pause and just go get a drink. Ventra was good, Irus was good, the Tomb of Omicron was a good dungeon. Volta being a particular highlight of that one. Bolzen was another good one. Atron was another good fight. Hey, the Grandmaster promotion test, that was just fun. Vados, the first round against Vados was actually really good. The final battle of the Tyrants against Vados was also a triple positive, just like Vados round 1 was. The outro was a triple positive. I gave a positive to the post game. I gave a triple positive to the replayability, and a triple positive to custom mode because, oh my god, custom mode is just insane. Oh, fuck. Okay. And that's it. 59, which means there's only 11 negatives to go through on the gameplay, which is just nuts. The low health beeping, that got kind of annoying. Can't select which Nexomon you trade if you have multiple of the same in your party, which is just fuck off. The lack of the map. Yep. There were some accuracy and evasion issues here. The encounter rate was once again through the roof. I gave a negative for status effect fetish. Edge because by Kadiem, it was really starting to get irritating. I really don't like the lab in Kadiem. It's a triple negative. It just gets so boring so quickly, and the encounter rate's through the goddamn roof. Fuck that place. I don't like Lateria being a forced stealth section. And I will admit that there is some bullshit late game hell. Well, yeah, there's usually more early game hell. This is an example of late game hell, where the late game is just so, like, what the fuck. But that is indeed it. Nexomon, my friends. No, come on. Pause, you fucking son of a bitch. But yeah, that is Nexomon. If you want my advice, play Nexomon Extinction. Avoid Nexomon 1 like the plague. It's not a good game. Period. So, yeah. My apologies for my coughing. I hope you can forgive that. And I will see you next time for, well, more than likely what will be next is the Lightning Returns rating video. That should be fun. So until next time, this is Blue Wolf Alex the Lore Walker signing out. Have a good one. Later.